Have you ever noticed someone around you suddenly acting different? Like every little thing you do matters more than it should? That's not a coincidence, because if you watch closely, there are 8 hidden signs that reveal their feelings for you are growing, and they're no longer in control of them. And once you see them, you'll never look at your interactions the same way again. First, they remember things you barely mentioned. That random joke, the song you liked years ago, they bring it up like it matters. Second, they constantly want your opinion, even on things they could easily decide for themselves. Third, they start mirroring your movements, your energy, your habits, almost like they're syncing with you without realizing it. Fourth, they go out of their way to help you, even if it's inconvenient. Fifth, they become protective, not in an obvious way, but in subtle gestures that show they care. Sixth, they can become nervous or awkward around you, revealing their emotions in fleeting moments. Seventh, they look for ways to get your attention, sometimes competing without even knowing it. And eighth, your happiness becomes their priority. Your moods, your struggles, your wins, they feel them deeply, almost as if your life affects theirs. These are not random actions. They're signs of feelings that are growing beyond control. If you're noticing a few of these signs in someone around you, pause and pay attention. They're trying to show you how much you matter without saying it directly. Comment below if you've seen any of these signs and share which one surprised you the most. Have you ever noticed someone bringing up a small detail about you that you barely remembered saying? Maybe it was a casual comment about your favorite coffee, the name of a book you mentioned in passing, or even something as subtle as the way you described your perfect weekend. At first, it might feel like coincidence, but if it happens repeatedly, it's not. It's a sign. It's a signal that their mind is holding on to the fragments of your life, like they're collecting pieces of a puzzle that centers entirely on you. When someone is genuinely developing deep feelings for you, their attention to detail becomes almost unconscious. They don't just hear your words, they store them. Every preference, every quirk, every seemingly insignificant thought you express becomes meaningful to them. The reason this matters is simple. It shows their brain is prioritizing you. Most people forget trivial details about other people. What you had for breakfast last Tuesday, the color of your favorite pen, or the exact way you laughed at a joke. But when someone's feelings are growing beyond control, they remember these things without even thinking about it. Your words linger with them because you linger in their mind. And it's not only about remembering facts, it's the way they bring these details into your interactions. Maybe they show up with your favorite snack, referencing a story you told weeks ago, or they comment on a movie you mentioned casually, showing they were actually listening. These moments are subtle, but they're incredibly powerful. They reveal that your life, your thoughts, your experiences are actively influencing their behavior. They're internalizing your world and reflecting it back to you. This attentiveness is also deeply emotional. It's not just about knowledge, it's about connection. Remembering small details signals care and attentiveness at a level that words alone can't capture. It's a silent communication that says, "You matter to me. I notice you. I'm invested in the small pieces of your life." Over time, these small gestures accumulate, creating a pattern that becomes impossible to ignore. It's almost as if their subconscious is working overtime to keep you at the center of their thoughts, and this attention eventually manifests in bigger, more noticeable actions. So next time someone recalls a detail you thought was too small to matter, pay attention. It may feel ordinary on the surface, but beneath it, there's a powerful sign. Their feelings are growing, and they may already be beyond their own control. When someone's feelings for you are growing beyond control, you'll start noticing a subtle but powerful pattern. They constantly want your input on everything. It's not just about major decisions, it's about small, everyday choices, like what to eat, what to watch, or even what kind of shirt to wear. At first, it might feel casual, maybe even flattering, but if you pay attention, it's much deeper than that. Asking for your opinion becomes a way for them to connect with you, to feel closer, and to validate their feelings, often without even realizing it. The psychology behind this is fascinating. When someone values another person deeply, their brain begins to assign more weight to that person's thoughts. Your perspective becomes a kind of compass. They want your view because it matters to them. Even in situations where your opinion shouldn't necessarily matter, it suddenly does. They may ask, "Do you think this is a good idea?" Or, "What would you do in my place?" Not because they are indecisive, but because they want your input to guide them, to feel aligned with you. It's a subtle declaration of importance. Your judgment carries more weight than anyone else's. This constant seeking of your opinion also signals emotional investment. It's a way of intertwining their world with yours. They're not just curious about your thoughts. They're trying to integrate your perspective into their decisions, their actions, and even their identity. Your opinion becomes a benchmark for them. They want to know what you think because your feelings, your approval, your perception have started to influence how they see the world. You might notice it in small, almost invisible ways. Perhaps they send you a text asking which book they should start next, even though they could easily pick one themselves. Or they consult you on what color to paint their living room. These moments are not random. They're evidence that your presence, even indirectly, is guiding them. The more they seek your opinion, the more it's clear that your influence is becoming central to their life. It's also an emotional signal. They're testing how much you care, how aligned you are, and whether their choices resonate with you. Every time they turn to you, they're silently communicating, "You matter, your thoughts matter. I want to be seen by you, understood by you, and maybe even approved by you." Over time, these small acts accumulate, forming a pattern that is unmistakable to anyone paying attention. This person is not just interested, they are increasingly emotionally entangled, and their feelings are beginning to grow beyond their control. So, the next time someone constantly seeks your input, don't dismiss it as habit or casual curiosity. It's one of the clearest signs that their heart and mind are becoming more entwined with yours every day. One of the most fascinating signs that someone's feelings for you are growing beyond their control is subtle yet incredibly telling. They begin to mirror your behavior. At first, it may seem coincidental. Maybe they pick up the same gestures, adopt a similar tone of voice, or even laugh at the same moments. But over time, the pattern becomes clear. They are unconsciously reflecting you. This mirroring is a natural psychological response, and it's rooted in a deep desire to connect, to resonate, and to form a subconscious bond with you. Mirroring isn't about imitation, it's about alignment. When someone likes you, their brain attempts to create harmony between you both. By mimicking your gestures, posture, or speech patterns, they're creating a sense of familiarity and comfort. This isn't something they necessarily do on purpose. It's often instinctive, a sign that their mind and body are responding to your presence. When you notice it, it's a signal that your energy, your habits, and your very essence are influencing them in ways they may not even fully understand. This behavior extends beyond simple actions. It touches emotional rhythms as well. If you speak softly, they soften their voice. If you lean forward, they lean forward too. Your excitement becomes their excitement. Your calm becomes their calm. It's a subtle synchronization that occurs because their feelings are deeply invested in yours. They are trying, even subconsciously, to create a sense of connection where your moods, behaviors, and energy flow in tandem. The mirroring also demonstrates empathy on a profound level. When someone genuinely cares about you, they want to meet you where you are. Mirroring is the body's way of saying, "I am present with you. I am attuned to you." Even without words, it communicates alignment, interest, and emotional investment. You might not notice it at first, but over repeated interactions, the synchronicity becomes unmistakable. There's also an emotional undertone to this behavior. Mirroring creates trust and comfort. When someone mirrors you, it feels natural, safe, and familiar, because, in a way, it is. Their growing feelings are pushing them to align with you, not just mentally, but physically and emotionally. And as this continues, the more they mirror you, the more their emotions are tethered to yours. They are no longer just observing you, They are, on some level, trying to become a reflection of the connection they feel with you. So next time you notice someone subtly picking up your gestures, speech, or energy, don't dismiss it as coincidence. It's a sign of growing attachment, of a heart and mind attempting to resonate with yours. Their feelings are no longer just present, they're spreading, sinking, and escalating beyond their control, and the mirroring is their body's quiet way of revealing it. One of the clearest yet often overlooked signs that someone's feelings for you are growing beyond their control is the way they start going out of their way to help you. At first, it might seem like small gestures, a favor here, a small task there, but over time, a pattern emerges. They begin to do things that require real effort, that take time, energy, or even inconvenience themselves. They prioritize your needs, sometimes above their own, and often without making a big deal about it. This behavior comes from a deep emotional place. When someone's feelings intensify, helping you becomes more than just an act of kindness. It's a way of connecting, a way of showing care without saying it outright. Your well-being becomes important to them on a level that goes beyond casual friendship. They start anticipating your needs, sometimes before you even express them. They notice things you might consider trivial, and they act on them because your comfort, happiness, or ease has started to matter deeply to them. It's important to notice the difference between normal helpfulness and overextension. Everyone likes to be helpful sometimes, but overextension shows up in ways that push beyond convenience. They might rearrange their schedule to meet a small need of yours, take on extra effort they don't technically owe you, or stay longer than they planned just to support you. This behavior is not accidental. It's a reflection of their emotional investment in your life. They are literally aligning their time, energy, and resources around you. Helping you in this way also creates a subtle but powerful emotional bond. Each act of support reinforces their attachment because they see your happiness as a reflection of their own. They derive satisfaction, even if subconsciously, from making your life easier or more joyful. It's their way of showing, without words, I care about you deeply and I'm willing to make sacrifices because of it. Over time, this repeated behavior becomes hard to ignore, both to them and to you. There's also an underlying vulnerability in this pattern. By overextending, they risk disappointment, fatigue, or even rejection, but they do it anyway. That willingness signals that their emotions have grown beyond simple affection. They are now motivated by a genuine desire to contribute to your life, to protect and nurture your well-being, even at a personal cost. This is one of the most honest and tangible ways feelings manifest when they are escalating beyond control. So, the next time you notice someone going above and beyond for you, especially in ways that seem inconvenient or unprompted, pay attention. This isn't just kindness, it's a clear signal of growing feelings, a silent but undeniable declaration of care, and a sign that their emotional investment in you is deep, sincere, and increasingly beyond their conscious control. Another subtle but powerful sign that someone's feelings for you are growing beyond control is the way they start showing protective instincts. This doesn't always show up in obvious ways, like standing in front of you or physically shielding you. Often it's more nuanced, an instinctive attention to your safety, comfort, and emotional well-being. They start noticing potential risks, discomforts, or situations where you might struggle, and they quietly step in to prevent harm or make things easier for you. This protective behavior is a reflection of deep emotional attachment. When someone cares for you on this level, your vulnerability matters to them. They are not just concerned about themselves or their own life. They are thinking about yours. Even small gestures, like making sure you have what you need for a stressful day, checking if you got home safely, or offering guidance to help you avoid a problem, are all indicators that they are emotionally invested. Your welfare is no longer just your responsibility. It has become something they feel responsible for, at least on an emotional level. It's important to notice the subtlety here. Protective instincts don't always look like heroism. They often appear as quiet vigilance, They may observe how you interact with others, how you navigate challenges, and how your mood shifts. If they sense stress or discomfort, they may step in before you even ask for help. They are attuned to your needs, almost intuitively. This level of awareness is rarely casual. It's a hallmark of someone whose feelings are intensifying beyond their conscious control. There's also an emotional component to this protection. It's not just about doing practical favors, it's about care and concern. When someone protects you, it signals that your happiness, security, and well-being affect their emotional state. They feel your challenges and worries as if they were their own, and they instinctively want to alleviate them. This makes their actions far more meaningful than simple kindness. It's a reflection of emotional investment, a sign that their heart is engaged and growing more attached every day. Another aspect is subtle prioritization. They may advocate for your interests in group settings, ensure your comfort in social situations, or quietly support your goals and decisions. These actions may not be accompanied by words, but they send a clear message. I care deeply and I want to make sure you're safe, happy, and supported. Over time, this protective energy accumulates into a pattern that becomes unmistakable. So, the next time someone consistently seems concerned about your safety, comfort, or emotional well-being, even in ways that seem small or indirect, take note. These protective instincts are rarely accidental. They are a clear indicator that their feelings for you are intensifying, that they are deeply invested, and that their emotions are beginning to grow beyond control. One of the most revealing signs that someone's feelings for you are growing beyond their control is the way they suddenly start acting nervous or awkward around you. At first, it might be subtle, a stumble over words, a slight blush, or fidgeting in ways they normally wouldn't. These small behaviors can feel almost invisible at first glance, but if you pay close attention, they tell a very clear story. This person is emotionally affected by your presence in a way that goes beyond casual interest. This nervousness isn't just random, it's a reflection of the intensity of their feelings. When someone starts to care deeply, the stakes of their interactions with you feel higher than usual. They want to impress you, to be seen in the right light, and to make a positive impression all at the same time. Their usual confidence or composure may falter because the importance they place on you has created a pressure that they're not used to handling. Every word, every gesture feels amplified in their mind because you matter more than almost anything else in that moment. Awkwardness can show in many different ways. They might laugh at things that aren't particularly funny, overthink their responses, or appear hesitant before speaking. Their body language may shift. They may avoid eye contact for a brief moment, play with their hands, or unconsciously mirror your posture in a clumsy way. These behaviors are all manifestations of their emotions trying to find an outlet, of feelings that are intensifying faster than they can fully control. This nervous energy is also emotional transparency without words. When someone is drawn to you and doesn't yet have full control over their feelings, they reveal themselves through subtle behaviors. They might overcompensate by trying to act casual, but the small tells, hesitation, fidgeting, or a slightly shaky tone, betray the truth. This is their vulnerability showing through. They care, they want your attention, and they are emotionally invested in what you think of them. Another important aspect is that this nervousness often comes from a desire for alignment. They are seeking to resonate with you, to match your energy and presence, but the intensity of their feelings makes it harder for them to act naturally. Their internal world is becoming consumed with thoughts of you, and the outside expression is this subtle tension, awkward pauses, overthinking, or even an unconscious desire to be noticed in every action. So next time you notice someone suddenly acting slightly off or clumsy around you, don't dismiss it. This isn't simply shyness or coincidence. It's a powerful sign of emotional escalation. Their feelings are real, growing, and increasingly beyond their control, and their nervous or awkward behaviors are their body and mind's way of expressing the depth of their connection to you. A powerful sign that someone's feelings for you are growing beyond control is the way they start subtly competing for your attention. This isn't about loud gestures, obvious showmanship, or dramatic declarations. It's quieter, more instinctive, and far more revealing. You might notice them trying to be present in your space more often, inserting themselves into conversations, or even finding small ways to be noticed in your life. These actions are usually subconscious, yet they communicate a simple truth. You matter to them more than they can fully admit. When someone's feelings intensify, your attention becomes a rare and valuable resource in their mind. They start to feel that your acknowledgement, your engagement, and your focus are crucial. This doesn't necessarily mean they demand it. They often seek it subtly, like being the first person to respond to your messages, laughing a bit louder when you joke, or steering conversations so they intersect with your interests. These behaviors reflect their desire to establish a deeper connection and to stand out in your consciousness without overtly forcing the issue. Subtle competition for your attention is also emotionally driven. They are motivated by a mix of admiration, care, and longing. They want to be present in your life because your presence is shaping theirs. Your reactions, your mood, and even your approval matter more than they may realize. Each small attempt to capture your attention is their way of creating proximity, of securing an emotional foothold. Over time, these small, seemingly incidental acts accumulate into a pattern that becomes unmistakable. It's fascinating because this competition often manifests in ways that feel natural rather than deliberate. They may share stories, achievements, or jokes they hope will catch your eye. They might contribute to conversations in ways that echo your interests, subtly demonstrating alignment and resonance with your personality. It's not about dominance, it's about connection, about ensuring their presence is felt because their emotions are increasingly invested in you. Another element of this behavior is persistence. They keep trying, even if they don't fully succeed. If they sense your attention drifting, they find gentle ways to redirect it, not in an aggressive or manipulative manner, but as a reflection of how much your engagement matters to them. The effort itself is a sign. They are emotionally compelled to be part of your world, to maintain a place in your awareness, and to nurture a bond that is gradually growing stronger. So if you notice someone subtly inserting themselves into your life, aligning with your interests, or consistently finding ways to catch your attention, take note. This is not coincidence. It's a clear, unconscious signal that their feelings are intensifying, that they are emotionally invested, and that their heart is increasingly beyond their own control. One of the most profound signs that someone's feelings for you are growing beyond control is the way they start investing emotionally in your happiness. This goes far beyond casual concern or simple acts of kindness. Suddenly, your mood, your successes, your struggles, they all begin to matter to them on a deep level. When you are joyful, they feel uplifted. When you are down, they are affected, almost as if your emotional state is intertwined with theirs. This is not something that happens by accident. It is a reflection of a heart that is increasingly connected to yours, often without conscious choice. Emotional investment in another person's happiness is a powerful signal because it reveals vulnerability. When someone allows themselves to feel your highs and lows, they are opening themselves to both joy and pain that is not directly their own. They are taking on a degree of emotional responsibility because your experiences now matter to them. It's no longer about empathy in a general sense. It's personal. They want to see you thrive, not just because it's nice, but because your happiness affects their inner world in a tangible way. This investment often shows up in small, consistent behaviors. They celebrate your achievements with genuine enthusiasm, sometimes even more than their own. They listen carefully when you talk about challenges, offering support not just practically, but emotionally. They anticipate moments when you might feel stressed or down, taking steps to lift your spirits or ease your burden. These acts are rarely transactional. They are motivated by an internal desire to see you happy because your state of well-being directly impacts theirs. What makes this so significant is that it's a measure of emotional priority. Most people care about others in a general sense, But when someone's feelings are intensifying, your happiness becomes central to their attention. Your life, your joys, and even your frustrations start shaping their emotional landscape. They are not doing it for recognition, reward, or validation. They are doing it because they feel compelled by their attachment to you. Every small act of support, every thoughtful gesture, and every shared moment of joy or concern reinforces the depth of their feelings. Another layer to this is that emotional investment often comes with subtle vulnerability. When they care deeply about your happiness, they risk disappointment, frustration, or even hurt if they cannot influence your experience. That risk is part of what makes their investment so telling. It is a reflection of genuine care, a sign that their emotions are no longer under strict control. They are willingly opening their heart to your experiences, making themselves emotionally available in a way that is deeply significant. So, when you notice someone consistently tuning into your happiness, celebrating your successes, and quietly carrying concern for your challenges, pay attention. This is not casual attention or simple thoughtfulness. It is a clear, undeniable sign that their feelings are growing beyond control. Their emotional world is becoming intertwined with yours, and their heart is deeply engaged in ways that words alone can't capture. This is the ultimate indicator that their care and affection are real, profound, and intensifying every day. If you want, I can now combine all 8 keynotes into a full Matthew Hussey style speech, including cold shock, tease payoff, engagement spark, and mid-video CTA, so it's ready for a video script. Do you want me to do that next?